from the dung heap, everybody. These are my friends. A lot of them.
Friends.
There he is. Hi, sweetie.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
And we're live. Hello. SPTV. Hello. Hi, everybody. Oh, well, here we are. Fun day Sunday. Hi. Hello. Hi. So I'm going to say hi to some people first. How's that? I got to ease myself into this one. We've had some silly streams lately, which I have absolutely loved. And, we always talk about all the things. Today might be a little bit of a serious one. Yeah. So let's just say hello and we'll dive into it. Hey, Indigo's Insights. Okay. Oh, thank you, Indigo. Can't make the live. Wanted to leave encouragement here. Thank you so much. We got George Massey. Hello. Mischief. Oh my goodness. Oh, my friends are here. We're going to talk about friends. Where's Half? Is she here too? Oh, she must be sleeping. Getting her beauty sleep. Hi, Mark Torrey. Good. I see a lot of friends here. James Steele. New and older friends. And we're live. That's right. Speaking of friends. Hello. Oh, I'm building Giselle this time. You doing a video? The video is not about Marilyn's Marlene, right? Oh, that's right. Yeah, what is it with cult leaders being named Marlene? I cannot wait for that video. I am really excited about it. Aw. Love you too, Cal. Thank you for everything. I don't even have any water today. I'm just not prepared, but I made sure that I brought, something to wipe my eyes because I was not doing well last night. Hey, old friends. Hello. Lori, great to see you. Lori Washburn. Hello. Ingrid. Yeah, anyone else not fall back? Yeah, I'm all, even though we technically gained an hour, I'm just so what do you say, discombobulated, as they say. Oh, also a shady one. I don't know. I mean, no, I actually had a viewer that used to correct me, a lot, that her, she had a friend named Marlene. It's not the name, but it's just funny. Go get some water. If you guys don't mind, I will go grab some water real quick. I will be right back. I'm sorry about this. Okay, I made it quick. Thank you. Oh, yes, okay. All right, here we are. So, I want you guys to help me a little bit. If you can just put in the chat, some what's your idea of friendship? What's your personal definition? Some attributes of your friends or people that you look for in a friendship, or things you look for in people in a friendship. Does that make sense? I don't know. Yeah, I I'm just going to read from like, what is it? Britannica, something or other. Just definition of friendship, because that's what I like to do is just start from the beginning, right? So let's do this. Britannica.com. Okay. Definition of friendship. It is a dyadic relationship, meaning that it involves a series of interactions between two individuals known to each other. Two, it is recognized by both members of the relationship and is characterized by a bond or tie of the reciprocated affection. So, somebody you consider a friend would consider you a friend as well, and characterized by a bond or tie of reciprocated affection. And that's very important. Three, it is not obligatory. Two individuals choose, I'm laughing as a former cult member who I had a lot of obligatory friendships, even arranged friendships, arranged marriage, which turned out okay, to my luck of the draw. But yeah, it turned out great actually. But yeah, it was obligatory and pretty much mandatory. You had to be friends with certain people. So it's not obligatory, true friendship. Two individuals choose to form a friendship with each other. In Western societies, friendships are one of the least prescribed close relationships with no formal duties or legal obligations to one another. This is true. Four, it is typically egalitarian in nature. Unlike parent child relationships, for instance, each individual in a friendship has about the same amount of power or authority in the relationship. Five, it is almost always characterized by a companionship and shared activities. In fact, one of the primary goals and motivations of friendship is companionship. In addition, adolescent and adult friendships often perform other functions, such as serving as sources of emotional support. And there's and something. Such features differentiate friendship from several related phenomena. The fact that friendships are dyadic relationships distinguishes them from cliques or peer groups. Interesting. Of course, many members of cliques are also friends with other members. Okay, so you can see the full list on Britannica.com. So I'm not gonna read that whole thing, but yeah, um, one of the main things I got out of that is that friendships are reciprocal, right? And um or they should be. They should be. Um so I am going to read your comments. I know there's some really good comments coming in. And um I'll be honest, guys, I really, really wanted a cigarette last night, like bad. And I vocalized it to some of my friends and to Duncan, and they talked me off the ledge. They're like, no, no, you don't want to do that. Not that they would judge me if I did. That's another thing is, no judgment. Like, I feel like somebody who is a true friend, I can go to them at my worst and just say, hey, I'm feeling weak, hey, um, I just need a friend to talk to right now. I'm not trying to ask anyone to fix my problems, but just to listen, And one of the things that I really got from learning about the trust triangle is when you put your trust in someone, you want to know that they have your best interests at heart, right? In mind, and that you have their best interests in mind. It's reciprocal, right? And you want to be able to trust them because you know who they are, they care about you, and they have sound judgment. Those are the three things. They're authentic, they're honest with you, they know who they are, right? And I can think of the five closest people to me, even in this space, that yes, I can say that. I can say that they care about me. I can say that they're honest. I can say that they give sound advice because they have integrity, right? Um, when I put my trust into someone who turns out to not have integrity, not have my best interest in mind, it hurts. It really does. And do I want to not trust people anymore? Well, part of me doesn't want to trust, but it's worth it. It's worth it to take a chance, and give people a chance because I have some amazing friendships that I really value. So, um, sorry. I usually transfer stuff from my phone to writing or to my notebook, but I really didn't have time to do any of that. Um, I'm going to read some of your comments first and then I'll go into my notes because I think that that'll be a good jumping off point. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place, but we'll get into it. Okay. Asen. Yes, let's start with Asen. She has sound judgment. Friendship means loyalty, kindness, but also honest talk if you do something wrong. Being able to have deep talks without expecting anything in return. Being able to have that connection. Looking for, oh, even when you don't talk all the time. Yeah. No dominance, no strings attached. I love that. Absolutely. That's a good point too, is someone that, you have an understanding where you can pick up where you left off. And I love that. I love that. There's a certain amount of security and confidence in your friendship that you can pick up where you left off. And also, I I realize there's a lot of value in checking in with someone that you're friends with that you haven't heard from in a little while or even a few days and say, "Hey, everything good? How are you doing? What's up?" Because sometimes that'll really like make the difference. I think that sometimes having that inkling or that feeling like, "Oh, I wonder how this person's doing." You never know. It might be the universe, telling you, hey, they need to be checked on a little bit. They need to be encouraged today. So I love that. The loyalty, kindness, and honest talk. Um, yeah, I think the loyalty and the honesty go hand in hand because I will, I'll even defend a friend, um, as my friend, but then go to them and say, "Hey, I heard this, is this true? Can we talk about it?" And then maybe speak into their life if you feel like they're doing something that isn't helpful, to them or other people, and being able to be honest with them. And that's one thing that I hear a lot is, why didn't you come to me? You hear people saying this on streams like this is like, so and so's mad at me. I don't know why they didn't come to me. Sometimes they feel like they can't come to you. And that's another aspect of friendship is that you are approachable to, by that person. And they feel that you're approachable and you feel they're approachable. Because if you can't talk, if you can't have that communication and those hard conversations, then what are we doing here, right? So, okay, here we go. Stay serious. Someone I enjoy being around. People you enjoy being around who lift each other up, support each other through the lows and tell you when you're acting like a butt. Yes, I hope you do that. Yes, Steve Speria. And we've never met in person. She's one of my only real close, friendships I have here in this space that I haven't met in person, but I feel like I have because we literally talk every day and not just about this stuff. But Sharona, I'm so glad Marilyn had to get water. Just reminded me to take my morning meds. Yeah, I really can't sing like Chow Yun Smut like Cricket, but she's got like a morning med song and a night med song. Nobody needs to be around me if I don't take my. Okay, well, I understand. Uh, James Taylor, this bloke asked me to take his pulse, so I ran off with his lentils. Uh, George, you don't even know what it means. He doesn't know what it means, but he started. That's so funny. George Massey, friendship is based on trust and loyalty. Once trust is broken, the friendship is over. It has to be mutual support. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's how I feel right now. It's like is a little betrayal, a little bit betrayed. I do. I'll be honest. Asen. Oh, wait, that was part of her other comment. Caroline in Canada. Hey there. Someone who doesn't judge even if you're at your worst, tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Is never jealous of your success and happiness, but celebrates with you. Yeah, that's really good. Absolutely. Is someone who can be happy for you, right? And share your wins or victory, your whatever, your successes. Um and your happiness. And I was just talking earlier, about the friendships I had in the call that were pretty much arranged, pretty much obligatory. And there was one friend um, that he was not loyal to me. I couldn't trust her. She threw me under the bus. She'd run to Marlene, and she was actually related to Marlene. So that gave her a huge leg up in the relationship because it was not reciprocal. It wasn't even. She had some power over me because she had that leverage with her aunt. So there wasn't that level playing field, and everything was like a freaking competition. And she would really, she was no, I'm not. I'm not throwing shade at people from Long Island, but she was from Long Island, you know. And when she called me on the phone, she goes, "How you doing? How's your hair?" I'm like, "My hair? It's I don't know. How's your hair?" She's like, "Oh, it's bouncing and behaving." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And when we and that's really funny because I wasn't even really allowed to think about my appearance much, except as long as it was covered, you know. But yeah, I was ridiculed for pretty much everything, for crocheting, for loving children. She like when I was pregnant with Austin and I found out that he was going to be a boy, I called up my best friend, who I thought was my best friend, and I was so excited because I had a girl and I was going to have a boy. And she was just like, "Well, isn't that special?" Like, "Oh yeah, whatever." And she just like put me down about it. And it was sad because she couldn't be happy for me. And I realized later on, I think she was jealous. But she couldn't be happy for me. Is that a friend? No. But I felt like I had to consider her my best friend because we were both, in the same place at the same time, and she was there, and she was one of my well, now I know she was in a cult with me, but that doesn't make a good friend, just because we have a similar you know, uh, focus. And that's what I realized too is there's been this phrase and it's been going around for months, so it's not anything new, but about the enemy of your enemies. I realized the enemies of my enemies aren't necessarily my friends. They could be, but there's um there's a what would I call it? A pet like a an invasion, like a pest problem. There's like some little like rodent bottom feeders that are running around, and maybe that's part of the whole ecosystem. You need your trolls and your bottom feeders, I guess. But um, I'll just say that someone who aligns themselves with nasty, vindictive trolls who have been trying to destroy me for months, calling me the C word, calling me, ma ho or whatever, which I guess is abbreviation for my name, whatever. I don't care. But um, people that are going to align themselves with that just because those trolls also don't like people they don't like, fuck that. I don't owe them anything. And I feel like, and of course, those people are going to deny it, but I have proof and I'm just effing sick of it. And the thing is, putting me in a position which I've been put in this week, where I thought I was helping a friend, turned out not to be a friend at all. And I put other friendships on the line for them. That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. And it's not friendship. It's not. And I mean, I'm speaking in general terms, but I also am hurt because this, I don't know, maybe this is normal for the internet, but it sure as hell isn't normal for me. And I'm not gonna tolerate it. And I don't have to. So, because I'm not in a cult. So I don't have to have assigned friendships. I can be friends with whoever I want to. And I have friendships that are very valuable to me, and they've proven over many, many, many months that they care about me and I care about them. And they're honest with me. They don't have to like everybody I like. I don't have to like everybody they like. I don't have to hate everybody they hate. But if someone is actively trying to destroy them over and over and over and making like videos, like parodies and calling them the C word, I absolutely would not put up with that. I wouldn't put up with it. I would not align myself with that. So it's hurtful and it's wrong. It's wrong. And I'm not going to offend somebody like that. You know, I'm not going to feel like I was put in an awkward position and I put somebody else in an awkward position that I shouldn't have. And for that, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And I should have been smarter. But I'm learning my lesson. And the people that accept me for who I am, and I'll name a few of them, there's more, but I'm looking at George Massey and Hef and Stace Speria and Mischief Manager. They're all my friends with wrenches. They sound like winches with wrenches. Yeah, no, just kidding. But they're friends first. And then they happen to have a wrench. Kelly is, she's a wrench, but I don't consider her mom. She's just a friend with a wrench. I love you, Cal. Yeah, and they would never put pressure on me to um to solve their problems, right? In fact, I got that mama bear thing. They probably don't want me solving their problems because I'll make a mess of it because I'll just roar at everybody. Because if anybody fucks with my friends, I'm going to be really upset. But okay, I just want to look. Okay. So I put, okay, using the cult as an example. I put a good friend listens to your point of view, is not black and white, all or nothing. It's like they don't put mandates or ultimatums or pressure on you, because sometimes um somebody just needs you to listen to them, or I just need people to listen to me, or vice versa, not necessarily take action and solve their problems. And if you're expecting your friends to solve all your problems, then that's not right. You're putting them in a position that they shouldn't be in. And there's something we said about, I think, about transferring emotion and energy and all that. Like I feel it because I know I'm an empath. I know I am guilty here. And I feel very strongly when my friends are in pain. I want to fix it. And I can feel their emotions. And so I'm looking at my notes because there's just things I was thinking about as I was getting ready. But the thing is like transferring your stress on someone isn't fair. And your hatred for someone else, like you have this vehement hatred towards somebody and you want your friend to hate them too. And you're just basically, dead agenting, fair gaming, whatever, you want to say in Scientology terms, but you're putting expectations on someone that it's just not fair. And I realized that I did that this week in the name of trying to help another friend by putting pressure on a friend, a different friend. So I realize it's not fair. And I know I'm speaking, I don't want to name names, and I feel like it can it can translate to other situations as well. So it is, in a way, it's a general thing. And I'm asking you guys what you feel friendship is. And I'm kind of like just working this out in my head out loud with you all, because I do trust many of you are friends of mine. And that's kind of what I do, is like, these are musings. These are just, I'm not lecturing anyone. I'm not trying to out anyone. If I have to, I will name names sometimes, but this isn't even about that. It's not about me coming out and accusing somebody. It's me working out my feelings about what's going on in my life. And I take it very seriously. Like, if I was literally at 11 o'clock last night, actually thinking about going out to the store and getting cigarettes. And I told George this, and I told Duncan this, and I told some other friends this, and I was just like, oh my God. And they're like, no, you don't want to do that, just wait. So I waited like 15 minutes and it went away, and I woke up and I was like so relieved that I cared about myself enough to not do that, because I want to be healthy. I really want to be healthy. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that if someone expects me to defend them, they really need to be honest and not withhold some very, very important information that when I find out from another source, I get egg on my face and I look stupid. And I tend to really want to stick up for the underdog, because I know what it's like to suffer under, like, someone who had this power differential, right? Where someone is lording something over you, or has power over you, or has, in this space, much bigger channel and can just squash you like a bug, right? And so I want to stick up for somebody who I feel is vulnerable, who needs, a little bit of help against a bully. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. And you know what? I need to just mind my own fucking business. And of course, the trolls are going to take this like, no. If it affects me, which this is affecting me right now, I'm going to talk about it. And I've got some other things I'm going to talk about this week that are not going to be pretty. And I may name names, I probably will. But what I'm saying is that I don't need to take everything on my being and on my person. And having that really big craving last night showed me that I have been putting too much pressure on myself and allowing someone to put pressure on me where it was not necessary. It was not necessary. So I had a couple other things. There's another thing to be said for having friendships that kind of come and go in your life, where you realize at one point that they're kind of fair weather. Like, if you have a problem, they're not really there for you. But if they have a problem, you definitely hear from them if they want your help. And I'm just going to say this for what it's worth, is I'm willing to help people that aren't my friends usually. I'm willing to help anyone. But once I start to feel like I'm being taken advantage of or used, it's done. I'm done. And I'll say this, and when I'll say that, I'll say this. I try not to be really petty, but at the same time, if I see somebody who comes to me for help repeatedly or even once, and I see them aligning themselves with people that have said the most horrible things about me, terrible ad hominem attacks, calling me the nastiest names that I would never call anybody else. And I'm not talking about just trolls, too. I'm talking about possibly I am talking about their creators, especially one in particular that has called me a terrible name. When I see someone who's coming to me for help in their chat, sending them hearts and being all lovey-dovey, it hurts. And I'm like, you know what? Don't ask me for help, you know? Don't ask me for help. You're letting, or if someone has a channel and they're letting a whole horde of trolls in there that have my face on their cover photo on Twitter with my dung heap thumbnail that they stole, don't ask me for help. No. Why would I do that? Unless I hate myself, It's not fair. And I never did anything to this troll. So, yeah, it's disgusting. Anyways. All right, guys, I'm just looking and make sure I said everything I was going to say. And then I got a lot of comments to go through, which we definitely will. Okay, so I talked about transferring problems. Yeah, certain things, like I said, it's like a deal breaker, because I feel like if someone is wanting me to help them, but yet they're aligning themselves with people that actively mean harm to come to me. They are wishing to inflict harm on me, and I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. And someone can plead ignorance and say, "Oh, I didn't know." But I'm not stupid. I was raised in a cult, but not yesterday. And I'm not stupid. So I just wanted to kind of talk to you about friendships in general and in particular, because I feel like, it's okay to protect yourself. It's okay to say, enough. I'm not putting up with this, and it makes me value my real friendships even more, even more. Such as Helicopter. Love you, honey. People you can be yourself around. Yes, people you can be yourself around. That's definitely you. They laugh and cry with you, setting you straight when you mess up. You do that. I love you. They ask you for support when they need it. You bring each other joy. Yeah, and you do, Cal. I love you. And whenever she sees a spicy title, she's like, "Are you okay?" I love you, honey. I'm all right. I'm just, working it out, doing the things. James Dale, I choose not to have any friendships. Aw. Come on, James. You seem like a really nice guy. Sure, you're a good friend. George Massey, a friendship that is conditional or transactional is not a friendship. I agree. I agree. Atkins in Texas. Hi there, friend. I call you friend because I've known of you for a long time, and you always have something really uplifting to say. This is such an emotional topic for me. I've been thinking about friendship so much lately. Yeah, it is emotional. And thank you for sharing that, because I'm not the only one. Silence says, thank you so much for being a member for 7 months. Silence says, what's that? Oh, hug. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, sorry, I gotta unstar a few things. Asen, you got this, Marilyn. I see your vulnerability. Thank you. It is very emotional. It is very fucking emotional. Hey, Miss Sunrise Dawn. A friend is someone who's there for you as much as humanly possible. A friend also doesn't threaten to stop being your friend if you don't stop being a friend to another person. Exactly. Yes. That is exactly it. Yeah. And I've felt that pressure, and even, not just yesterday, in the past month, and this isn't at all about Aaron or anything, but a lot of people don't like him. And I have felt pressure, in the past few weeks not to be his friend. And I'm screw that. He's actually proven that he's a good friend to me. He's been a good friend to me. If everybody, if other people don't like him, call him this, call him that, I don't see him, you know, treating me like that. I don't see him treating other people like that. So that's not my experience. So I'm not going to take that on myself, especially the people that are telling me this have not been a friend to me. So, and he has, so that's just one example. And that's not what, I'm talking about from last night. But yeah, it's just, I think it's up to everyone to decide who they're going to be friends with and who they're going to trust. Because guess what? We're not in a cult anymore. So I don't have to be friends with people that don't have my best interest in mind and are not happy for me when I'm successful or have a good friendship, you know? Um, I, yeah, that's why I keep mentioning George and Hef and Staceberia and Kelly and Aaron. They're all good friends of mine, and I will defend them because they deserve it. They have shown me that they're trustworthy and they care about me. And I I would, I'll go to the mattresses as they say for Kelly and any of them. I will. Oh, lentils are a pulse. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Is that a UK thing? Or am I just ignorant because I was in a cult? I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure what this means. What Stay Spurious said all day, every day, or suffer the consequences. Just speaking, I am not sure what that means. You'll have to clarify that, Giorgio. Okay. If we stop trusting, this is Stay Spiria. If we stop trusting and allowing people to become our friends, the ones that the ones that have broken our trust gain more power over us than they deserve. Mm, that's true. That's true because you're missing out. There's that saying, what is better to love and like better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all, you know? And it was really funny. Yeah, George is nodding. It's really funny that this whole, I'm sort of going off on a tangent here, but this whole like purity culture thing is basically arranged marriages where you don't even like you can't like I couldn't even hold hands with Duncan before we got married. And good thing I did know him and he was a good friend. So we lived in the same house for 5 years or more, 5.5 years. So I knew him, but at the same time I didn't know him like that. Um, I feel like when you get to know somebody, um, it shows it teaches you things about yourself too. So I feel like dating is actually a healthy thing because it was always like, oh, you're compromising, you're giving of yourself, you're robbing your future husband or wife of you're basically being a whore. If you even hold hands with someone who's not going to eventually be your husband. And it's like that's such twisted feeling. That's such a twisted way of thinking because how do you know if you're compatible with somebody? I'm not, advocating for promiscuity, but I don't judge. I don't judge. And hey, as long as you're safe and you're not hurting anybody, I don't care, what you do with your personal life. But I feel like that was a twisted way of thinking that all of a sudden you're going to know how to communicate with people when you've never done it before, or you're going to know how to have a relationship when you've never done it before. So I feel like even after last night, I learned some valuable lessons. I learned some lessons that I'm not going to allow this to happen again. So um, there's always good things. Like I have a really hard time letting go of friendships. I really do because I really invest myself in a person, and I'm sad. I feel sad for losing some friendships that I had when I first came into this space, and people that have even done mean videos about me. Sometimes I miss them and I wonder how they're doing, especially one guy that I, started out, we were part of the naughty, nasty, nutty, nerdy never ends. And yeah, I think about it every once in a while and I'm like, damn, we were really good friends. And then all of a sudden he hates me. He turned on me and he's in Reddit talking shit about me. I heard, I didn't read it, what he said. I don't want to know. But I'm sad about that because I remember the good times. And so would I, do I regret being his friend? No. And he taught me some things and maybe I taught him some things. Who knows? So, um, yeah, I think I'm not in, I don't say everything happens for a reason because I don't know. I don't know if everything happens for a reason, but I choose to learn from my experiences. Asen, when a friendship is obligatory, that's not a friendship. That is a control group. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Kansas Esky Gal. A friend is someone who always is there for good and bad times with no judgment. Yeah. Yeah, I read somewhere there's a I don't think I have it on here, but if you look up quotes on friendship, there was one website that said 100 quotes on friendship. And there was one thing that said that a true friendship can endure something like side by side silence. And what I took that to mean is when you could just be in someone's presence, and even like this, there's times when Kelly and I we used to do our like work sessions all the time, and we would just sit there like we're both, we're FaceTiming, but we're like just doing stuff. We're working on stuff. She's editing and I'm, making thumbnails or whatever. And then we're like, oh, what do you think of this? But there's moments of silence. And if you can feel comfortable being in that person's presence and still being silent, um, then I think that's a good thing. That's a very healthy thing. If you can just abide with somebody, that's companionship, So even like this. Hey, James, I love you, Marilyn. Yeah, luck them all. That's right. Thank you. Jason, I don't agree with the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You may agree with that person on certain points. That doesn't wash them off the nasty sides. Doesn't wash them off the nasty sides. I think I know what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Popcorning piggies. Who would call? Yeah. There's a song about it. Yeah. And I was one day, it doesn't bother me anymore, but when I first saw it, it bothered me. And yeah, it even bothers me that somebody would be friends with this person, but whatever. And let them in their chat, whatever. But yeah, I was telling some of my friends and even my kids, like, oh my God, like, what if one of my grandchildren who doesn't exist yet Googles me someday and comes up with that? And I think it was Kelly was just like, oh, they'll think it's badass. It's pretty funny, And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. And I'm not trying to run for office ever. I'm not going to be in the corporate world. People Google me. It's just funny. Sometime I'd like to return the favor, but I don't know how to edit and all that, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I I'll just read your questions before I say that. Hey, Miriam, hi there. I think people can have different expectations when it comes to friendship, but if the expectations are aligned, it is easier to get through rough patches as well. Yeah, that's that reciprocity. Is that how they say it? Right. You have an even balance of power and expectations, and that's a really good point. Absolutely. Hey, just a northern girl. Sorry you have to continually go through this, Marilyn. Probably my fault. Bring it on myself. I just don't understand the mindset of these flip flop haters. It seems to be about their inflated egos. Yeah. Um, I'm definitely not going to just keep like, who we hating today? No, that's not my bag. I don't want to hate anyone, and I don't want to be running to the next, like, oh, gang piling on somebody. No, I don't want to do that. And that's why I fell into defending someone who probably didn't really deserve to be defended, you know? So, yeah, live and learn. I'm going to live and learn. It's wenches with wrenches. Love you. As if you didn't know, George. You're having fun with that one. James Steele, George Massey, and Stacey Speria are the epitome of friendship. They both happen to be British. I don't know. I mean, I guess I love me some Brits. They used to yeah, they slap each other. Yeah, I know, it's so funny. And yeah, I got Kelly Farrell Cheryl, and Hef's not a Brit, but she's engaged to an Aussie. Does that make how many degrees of separation to a Brit? I'm looking at George. He's like, oh, Ethan. I just want to hug you, Marilyn. I'm not a hugger. Thank you. I'll take that. I take that as a huge compliment. Hey, Terry, glad you're taking care of yourself and that you have friends to help you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I need to be um, just mindful of that I don't want to bring them down, because I realize that, I can be I can be a real bummer sometimes, like, oh, what's Marilyn's problem? No, I wouldn't blame them if they said that. But yeah, I really want to be there for my friends too. Popcorning piggies, I really do think the internet is toxic. Yes, it can be. I keep unsubscribing from channels and finding more time to watch Netflix. Yeah, me too. I've been watching this. It's probably like, I don't know, 10 or 20 years old, but this series on the presidents and different, maybe because I'm thinking about, the whole political scene, and it's really, really interesting. I think it's called The Presidents, and it might be on, I'm not sure if it's Netflix or Hulu, but it's really, really good. But yeah, I've been doing that too, is just filling my mind with things other than this. But I do miss it when I don't do it. So here I am today. Elizabeth Davis, I don't think being a trauma survivor makes someone a safe person necessarily. The nice SPTV crew needs to huddle and set boundaries on bad actors. Boundaries, sadly, aren't strong enough. Yeah, I think setting boundaries is healthy and necessary sometimes. Absolutely. Kathy Mitchell, so many different kinds of friendships for me. They must all, however, be good people, or at least people that I think are good people. I am a loyal friend till someone shows me that they don't deserve it. Yeah, I agree with that. My Sharona, hey there. If someone is trying to recruit you to participate in a quote witch hunt that you aren't directly involved in, run away as fast as you can. If you have to quote prove your friendship, that isn't a friend. That's a really good point. I didn't think of it that way, but come to think of it, it kind of felt like that. Yeah. Kathy Mitchell, thank you so much. I got a new cub. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. Oh my God. Joel, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. It's raining cups. Hallelujah. It's raining cups. Amen. Thank you so, so, so much. And even without the gifted memberships, Joel has been a really good friend too. He really has. I know I can pick up the phone and call him. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. I mean, this is happy tears because I really appreciate the people that have stuck by my side and that are there, that I can just pick up the phone and talk to them, or even just they understand if I don't have time to talk to them. At least, like, if they needed something, they can call me too, and I want to know how they're doing. And just that thing again of, like, even if you don't talk to somebody for a few days or a few weeks, you can still pick up where you left off and have that understanding that you both care about each other, and that's really, really valuable. Say, Spirit, true friends will understand and respect your boundaries. Absolutely. Yeah, and sometimes it's just I hate to say the thought that counts, but to me it kind of is. Like if I know I don't expect anybody to do anything necessarily, but just to listen and just be like, or say, hey, give somebody the heads up, like, all right, this is what's going on. I just want you to know. I don't expect you to do anything about it, but I just want you to know because as a friend, this is what's happening. And I'm just warning you not to threaten anybody, not to talk about anybody, but to just give you the heads up because we're friends, that something, you know, might happen that may involve you, that kind of thing. Right. Kathy Mitchell, when I watch you, I see me. The hurt is just so close to the surface. I love that you're true to Aaron. Well, you know what? He's fucking human, people. I mean, what is wrong with these people that just want to pilot? They don't care. They don't see him as human. He's a guy with 3 kids. And yeah, so what? He has a successful channel. Does that make him a monster? I don't think so. And it's like everybody needs at least one loyal friend. I mean, it's like I can't believe the people that have said to me, one in particular, is I just said, well, do you want him to not have any friends? He said, yeah, I want him to have no friends. I'm like, what kind of terrible thing is that? Just to want somebody to go down and to hit bottom and not have anybody to be around them and to even speak into their life and tell them, you know, no, that's not okay, or that's okay, or you're going to be okay, or it's okay. Like, that's not okay to say that about someone, that you don't want anyone to lend them a hand or a friendship, you know? That's just evil. That's not how I am. That's not how I roll. Thank you, Shorna. I'm so sorry that hurt your feeling. Yeah, it just sucks when losing a friendship. It really sucks. Silence says, just popped out to give Marilyn a hug. Aw, thank you. Appreciate you. You have a great week as well. Hey, Lathonda, so good to see you. A good friend knows what you need in the moment. Sometimes it's the truth you don't want to hear. Sometimes it's just a hug and comfort and holding back the truth. Yeah, that's a very good point. I agree with that. Elizabeth, no need to cut off Bowian theory. I'm not sure what that is theory, but care about the others from a distance. Some people don't want peace. Some need conflicts. Nice SPTV. Yeah. SPTV, the plus sign, can represent many things like the inclusion of never ends that care and want to participate in healing. I like that. SPTV plus. I like that. Buckled up. Hey there. Good friends can tell you things you may not want to hear with a hug and tell you what is wonderful about yourself when you need to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. I think again, it goes back to intent. And if I think a true friend can tell you the truth and you'll accept it. I know I accept it because I know that they care. I know they're not just trying to criticize me for the sake of making me uncomfortable or defensive or hurt. They're not trying to hurt me. It really does take a lot of courage sometimes to go to a friend and say, hey, this doesn't seem right, or I'm worried about you, or are you sure this is what you want to do, or whatever, or standing up for yourself, like I don't feel it's healthy for me to be doing this, for them, or whatever, just putting your boundaries up. Isn't funny to quote a Christian saying, but while not being one, but I'm always thinking, who is free of sin may cast. Yeah, the first. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry, I'm not good with these two-part things. I grew up with a narcissist mother and married one later. I'm not saying that. So, Stephanie Hutchinson, if you're listening, I'm reading what Asen said. I'm not saying it for myself about my own mother. because my mother passed away when I was 5. I think 50 years of experience, George is laughing down there. I think 50 years of experience gives me some sense who is and who's not. Aaron is not a narcissist. I've had several people say that. I've heard, even Farrell Cheryl said that too, that she knows, and her mother, was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, as we found out from Stephanie Hutchinson. She falsely accused Aaron of saying that. Um, that she said that, she knows a narcissist and Aaron's not that. So I don't know. I can't diagnose or non-diagnose anyone, but I tend to agree. I tend to agree with that. Mike Jesus, hey there, friend, and you are a friend. Would never buy a car without test driving it first. That's what dating's all about. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. What do they say? You gotta kiss a few toads before finding a prince. Yeah, I do, and I didn't tell my kids like, oh, you can't date, and of course I, waited till they're of the appropriate age and set some boundaries for them for their safety. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not going to tell them they have to just get married, and not date anybody. That's just ridiculous. Lathanda, thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. You are here for us when we need you. We love you. Thank you so much. I'm really emotional today. I'm sorry, but I appreciate that a lot. I really do. Drive-in fan, hi there. It's good to set boundaries. Aaron has finally decided to set boundaries in his life, which is something that we all should be doing. I'm glad you're doing the same. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I see that with Aaron, and he, wants to help people and has been thrown under the bus. And yeah, I guess live and learn, setting boundaries so that you're not going to let that happen again. There's no reason to. You don't deserve that. So with friends, let's say, with friends like these, who needs enemies? That's just not okay. Sorry, I'm just going down the line here. Hey, Carrie. My mother and her friend would sit at the kitchen table and read separate books and not talk to each other, just read together in silence. Yeah, I like that. I think that's great. And Duncan and I will do that sometimes at when we go up to the lake. We'll just go and get our coffee in the morning and just sit and just listen to the water, you know, watch the ducks and feel the breeze and just look at the scenery and just sit there for the longest time, you know. There's just something to be said for that. Lathanda, my best friend of 50 years died of cancer in June. I miss him every single day. The hole such a friend leaves in the heart is incredible. I'm so sorry. Lots of love to you, Lathanda. Yeah, that's a real deep hurt. I'm sorry. Kathy, that is huge. Not to feel the need to fill in the silence, just to be together is good. My closest friends and I also pick up where we left off. Yeah, those are really good points that you guys made. Just picking up where you left off. Half is an honorary Brit. Yes, she is. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. That's what she said. Hey there. I love the costumes and played along with werewolves. Laughter is the best medicine. It is. It was much needed, I believe. Okay. When I drive my car and a chick comes flying out behind me, it's a hatchback. Okay. I get it. That's funny. Miss Sunrise Dawn, Marilyn, I understand what you said earlier. With all the stress of the past couple weeks, the temptation to smoke has been really strong. Yes, you quit about the same time that I have. Good for you. I'm so glad you haven't. It is, yeah, it can be very stressful. And I was telling Duncan because he's seen me struggle with this on and off for years, for like 10 years. And I quit for a couple months once and then had, a falling out with someone and ended up just having one and then forget about it. So he said last night, he's like, yeah, this is something. I said to him, why am I feeling such a physical, really strong, like as if I'm still physically addicted to the nicotine? And he said, well, that's because your brain is telling you that in the past, that's how you dealt with stress. I'm like, yeah, it's just so strange how it can physically impact you. And you really want a cigarette so bad because that's what I turn to. It's just crazy. Mischief. Someone said they want anyone to have no friends. That's not a good person. Yeah, that's not okay. And the person that said that would never say that about them. I don't wish anybody ill. I don't. I want everybody to have friends, even if it's not me. And I can't be friends with everybody. And some people, it's not healthy that I be friends with. So that's just how I feel. Allie, I read one of the pages and it is all hate. I can't believe people say or even thought what was written. Their lives must be not full of friendship and love. So sad. Love you, Meryl. Thank you, Allie. Yeah, it is really sad. It is. And I think people will hide, under anonymity too. It's just, yeah, it's gross. It's just gross. I don't know. Krista, that's despicable. Not want him to have any friends. What a sicko to wish that on someone. Yeah. And that makes me want to be more of a friend. It's like, wow, like, how could you say that about anyone? That's terrible. Thank you, Asen. I know you have a close circle. I'm very happy for you. I just want you to know you can write to me anytime, get extra perspective, of course. Thank you. I love your perspective and I appreciate you a lot. Yeah. Oh, just tuning in from Kelly Copter's premiere. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. I didn't realize you had. Oh, you should have told me that you scheduled the premiere. Sorry. I had no idea. That's a really shitty friend of me. I'm sorry, honey. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Don't go back to some. Okay. Well, after this, I'm definitely headed over to her channel because I've been waiting for this premiere. Of course, like a good friend, she's not going to tell me. I would have waited to go live. I love you, honey. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Steve Spirit, I couldn't even wish for my worst enemies to have no friends. I rather hope they find friends to make them want to be a better person overall. Right, right. And if you think someone is in such need of repair that they're such a terrible person, you're gonna do video after video about them. Wouldn't you want somebody like maybe level-headed to speak into their life a little bit? No, no. It's like I think that person's unredeemable. I don't think anybody's unredeemable. I really don't. Well, no, I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that. But all right, going to the live chat. Sunrise Dawn. Yes, we quit within the same week. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thank you. Chances are I'm feeling the same. Thank you. I appreciate that. Latest video just dropped. Yes. So excited. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. Dad jokes. That's right. James Steele. That's funny. Yeah, I do. I do wish people well, and I don't want someone to not have any friends. But there's times when I feel like I do have to stand back, and especially if someone has, I feel, taken advantage of and used, and then especially when that person like allies themselves with people that made me cry for months. That's not fair. It's not right, and I'm not going to put up with it, and I don't have to. You know. Listen, I don't wish anyone ill except my ex because he hurt my babies. Yeah, that yeah, that would be a deal breaker for me too. My babies, even though they're in their 20s. I heard, I wish you meet yourself in another person. And I thought that makes sense. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see you later, Miss Sunrise Dawn. All right. Well, let's see. We've been going for an hour. Can wind down here. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you all because I consider many of you friends, and there's different levels of friendships. There are parasocial friendships. I have some close friendships in this space and in real life, and especially my family I'm very close to. Um I feel like I want to be genuine and I want to be real. And I do keep a lot to myself. There's a lot of things I don't talk about because I don't think it would be beneficial to all of you. And there's such thing as TMI, I believe. So I try to spare y'all a lot of it. But this is all part of the journey, I feel like. It's part of my journey and to kind of express these things, to work things out. Um, Even on screen, like my own healing, a lot of it has happened in the past year and a half by just talking to you all and getting your input, and which I really value it. Joel, hate is a powerful thing. The only cure for it is a more powerful emotion, and that will be love. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Joel. It's amazing. I saw a couple of good comments. Hey, Raquel, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Acupunk, hi there. With ADHD, I can only maintain a handful of close friendships. Wow, that's actually a good point too. Like, I mean, I don't know if I have things, ADHD or anything. I probably have a bunch of, uh, I'm probably about a dozen diagnoses waiting to happen here. But I do understand that it's like it's hard to maintain a lot of friendships at once, and that's why I think it's good to have friends that um, you can kind of like pick up where you left off. And I really try to not be that friend that's, high maintenance, or just that fair weather friend, or a friend that's just, oh, well, think of someone like, oh, I need something, and then go to that person. Sometimes it's just nice to say, hey, haven't talked to you in a while. Just want to check in. Just want to let you know I'm thinking about you, thinking of you. Hope all is well. I think that's great. I love when that happens. And that you don't have to work hard at maintaining some friendships. But I get what you mean. It's really hard to have a lot of friendships all at once. You Kathy Mitchell. Excuse me. I'm going to do a quick Xena Marlene here. There's a difference between being a person that has confidence. Aaron is just a human, plain and simple. People that have to attack him and can't stop watching him need to look inside. Yeah. Um, I do think a lot of it's based on jealousy or feeling like he's not worthy to have what he has. And again, I don't give a shit what people do in their personal life. I really don't. And so what is that's the thing, is like someone comes to me like, oh, that person's a terrible person. Well, what did they do? And if they can't come up with something that is reasonable, I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not taking up that mantle. They haven't done anything to me and they seem fine. So we're all human. Nobody's perfect. So I haven't seen any like majorly terrible smoking, what, GUN. I don't know if I can say that on here, but yeah, I haven't seen that still. Neural spicy. James, yeah, I didn't know you had that, but fibromyalgia makes it really difficult. It makes a lot of things difficult. Absolutely. Hey, Vanessa Warnberry, good to see you. Asen, Aaron worked hard for the things he has instead of being jealous. Why not do the same amount of work yourself? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit of jealousy is okay as long as you're not trying to destroy that person. And looking at it like, oh, well, how can I obtain if you are admiring someone and their success, then hey, ask them, hey, how did you navigate this, or what works for you, instead of like blah, 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 and just being resentful and jealous. That's not attractive at all. Hey, Doug. Good to see you. friend. I always say, good to see you, friend. Friends are a true blessing. I value them, but friendships require work just like everything else. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about that when we were talking about friends that kind of come in and out of your life, like in the capacity of you pick up where you leave off. But any lasting relationship does, I think, require some work. I found, especially with a romantic relationship, my my marriage. I mean, it's been what, 28, over 20, well, 27 and a half years. Yeah, it's been work, and it ebbs and flows sometimes, and sometimes you don't feel romantic, but it does require some work sometimes. I agree with that. And friendships as well, you know? Like I said, just thinking of someone and saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. How you doing?" You know, that that goes a long way. At least with me it does. Hey, Bodhi, good to see you. When taking sides for one over the other with no reason of your own, you are the one most likely to end up without any of them. When they have solved their conflict or united against an enemy. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, you could end up being the one under the gun, under fire for that. Absolutely. And, I don't know if you all have had this experience, but I had it several times, especially in high school, where I'd have a friend who had this boyfriend that she broke up with, and she would just be like, he's the most horrible person. He's so abusive. He's so terrible. And I'd be like, yeah, what a fucking jerk. And I would just be like, I hate him, because he hurt you and he's a jerk, and he did this and that to you. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. And then the next week they're back together. And it's like, what? We don't hate him anymore? Like, does that mean he didn't do that stuff? Or you're saying it's okay, which it's not okay? It's very confusing. And then guess what? Next thing you know, you're the odd man out because they're all of a sudden a unit again. And that guy knows that you were talking shit about him with his girlfriend, who is now his girlfriend again. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Joel McQuain. As we stumble through life, the trick is not to faceplant too much. Let's all be careful. Fill your life with joy when you can. See you down the road. Thank you, Joel. Yeah. He said, why not be inspired by their success instead of wishing to destroy them? Yeah, there you go. I don't get it. I don't get it either. Yeah, I think we, do well to be happy for someone. It's a lot more pleasant to, be nice and then just hate all the time. It's like, who wants to live in that? It eats you away. It eats you up inside. So if something's toxic for you or a friendship's not working for you, it's okay to walk away, I made a little poem. I rhymed. It's okay to walk away. All right. We could go on and on. Your comments are great. You have so much insight. I really appreciate you. Please, high school friendship, perfect analogy. Perfect. Thank you. I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh God, I remember some of those friendships and then I would just kind of wait it out. And then of course they'd come back, be like, yeah, that guy really was a jerk. But success is not a pie with a set amount of pieces. I feel like James. Yeah. That's great. Okay, everyone. I will see you later, maybe. I'm not sure if I'll be on again today or tomorrow. We'll see what the day brings. But I just want you to know how much I appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. And please like and subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment as long as it's nice and respectful on the video. And thank you everyone watching the replay. And I will see you soon. Bye. Zenu, Marlene, everybody partake. Cheers. This is good coffee. This is why, my hubby makes the coffee.